list how to put these graphics in there, the images. Okay, so that one was right here in the index. And it's a lot simpler than you can imagine, okay? So over here, all you have to do, the tag is called IMG for image. You do a space and then you have to give it a source, src equals. And then in parentheses, you can do just the same way that we did to call the websites, or to call all the JSPs, exactly the same thing. You can either call a website, you can call a subdirectory, a relative subdirectory. And what I did over here was I went ahead and put I actually put the images inside the same directory, which is samples, I think it is, right? So I put the images inside the same directory where I got all of the different web pages. So it picks them out of there. So this is that one. Hopefully. No, that's not what I want to say. Okay. So this one is called Hadoop, and this one is the architecture of the Hadoop. But I asked you guys if you wanted to know about this one of the days. I'll be more than happy to explain how Google works from the hardware point of view, since you guys are ITs. Okay, go to tables. So we go to tables here. And you have tables inside tables. So this guy doesn't have that. He only has tables, okay? Regular straight tables. And in this case, this is one big table that has 3 tables. And these tables, each one of these is a table, and each one of these you can contain more tables if you want to. And on these ones, you can go ahead and have multiple rows and multiple columns, and it's something that you can expand a row into multiple columns, or you can expand a column into multiple rows. What I mean by that is if you have a table that looks like that, you can't see that, right? Okay. If you have a table like that, you have columns, you can have one of these columns to expand all of the rows. In other words, you can put something in here that will take every single row, right? And at the same time, you can have a table that you can have one row that will expand across all of the other columns, and they have columns like this, right? So this is like this, and this is actually like that. I'll show you how to do that. So in this case, what he doesn't have in there is these 3 different guys here. So this is 3 tables inside one table. So let's see what that looks like. So this guy is called table JSP. So it looks a little bit crazy, but it's not. So the first table that you have here, and I'll talk about the DIV in another page, okay, this DIV here. Okay, so you have this table here, and the way that you start the table, the very first guy here, as you can see it over here, where is it? Right here. You can just go ahead and say table and end it over there, but you also have a whole bunch of parameters that you can use. In this case, I only want 75% off the page. Whatever the page is, I'm only using 75% of it, okay? And I don't have any borders here, and I want the borders to be color blue, okay? In the past, we didn't have names. We had to actually know the actual numbers of each one of the colors, but nowadays everybody understands just the word color, like blue and red and light blue and stuff like that.
Well, those are the common ones.
And common ones, right? So inside this table, I'm going to move this up, okay, so that we can see the that guy. So you have the table, and then the rows are called TRs, which is great because it's table row, so it makes sense, right? What doesn't make sense is the next line here, which is called TD. Okay, TD is actually a column, even though column doesn't have the word D. Alright. So you have the first table up there, the very beginning, then you have a row, then you have a column, and then in that column, which is the first column to the left, I went ahead and created another table inside that first column. Okay, so it's another column there. That one is going to take 100%. That one has border one, so it's got a very light border. What else is in there? It's being aligned to the left. And there's no cell padding or cell spacing. In other words, between each one of the lines, there's no spaces. Okay. Then inside that table, I have a column, and the DIV is, I'm telling it to go ahead and align whatever is in that particular space to align it to the center. I can align it to the left, to the center, to the right. And then I'm doing a reference over there, just like what we did on the other guys, that we could go ahead and call something. So I'm calling actually the website from CGS4850. And then I'm adding an image over there, so that when you click on it, you can click on an image. And what I'm putting in there was one of my granddaughters. And if by any chance, if the browser cannot represent the pictures, then it will go ahead and represent the text. It will write the text there. Then that ends, that anchor there, and then the divided ends, and then I have, and it ends the column. Okay. I tried doing this PHP in there, and unfortunately, I didn't have the time, but supposedly NetBeans and the guy that we're using, I forgot what it's called, begins with a T? Tomcat. Supposedly Tomcat cannot be, you cannot make Tomcat and PHP. But then I found in a place that you can actually download a program that is a PHP, and then you can actually go ahead and make it good. I'm going to try that and see if it works. That would be nice, because then that will give a lot more power to the pages. Okay. This one is just a regular programming from PHP. Echo and date, these are commands, and basically what that one does is that every time you go there, it is giving you a new clock all the time. And over here will be, I forgot exactly what this is. You can select the time zone. Okay, in this case, it's America, New York, so it'll be Eastern time. Okay, so now we have another column here. So we have the middle column, we have another column. I'm aligning this to the middle, and the V align, and then the vertical alignment is to the middle, so it'll be right in the center from top to the bottom. And this one will be aligning, whatever I put in there will be to the center of that space. And the font size is 4, the face, this will be the type of, what is it called? Font. So this is the size of the font, and this is the type of the font, right? And then I'm just putting this guy here, and that one gets centered, like I said, in the middle. Then I do another divide over here, using 100% height center. And then these are different colors. I still use these all colors, the numbers. One of these days I'm going to sit down and replace them with the actual colors names. And then what this guy says, font family, you notice that you have different fonts over here. You can put as many fonts as you want, and what happens is that if you get to a machine that doesn't have the first font, then it goes to the second, then it goes to the third, then it goes to the fourth. Okay? This was some more PHP. These hangs over here, these guys hangs over here, and then I start with the third column. Remember the third column all the way to the right? So they all look exactly the same. So the third column, I'm aligning that to the center. I'm calling a website. And this guy over here, that's interesting. Okay, so that was from the previous lab. So, but right now, it executes, I assume, the first one there, but then the actual one that is executing is the last one here. So I guess it goes real fast to the first one, and then it executes the next one. The only one that is showing right now is this one, and this is the image over there. And I changed that image to Hawkins, picture there. And I changed the width and the height on that to center a little bit better. And that's the end of the table, the end of that column, the end of that row, and the end of the previous table.